Welcome back to the channel. In the last video, I brazed up these panels here, and this video, I'm going to get these all ground down. We'll see what they look like before they're ready for Bondo. I'm going to talk about the do's and don'ts with this brass. So let's get started on it. All right, the first thing I want to say is I know I'll have some comments and somebody want to know if you could braze with a propane torch. The answer is yes. You could actually use a cutting torch, but you're going to have a big heat effect zone. You're going to cause a lot of warpage to the metal. So oxygen acetylene torch works best. Now I'm going to take 36 grit on the little roll lock wheel and grind all this down. And the first thing you want to do is grind most of this brass off. You don't want to have any excess on top of here. Bondo doesn't stick to brass as well as it does the sheet metal, so you want to remove all the excess brass that you can. Okay, let me start grinding on these. Okay, here's what we want to end up with. We want most of the brass removed out of here. And I said there's do's and don'ts. This is a do. Do remove as much as you can. All you need is this little bit in the seam right here to hold it. So I've never had an issue with Bondo coming off one of these seams. Inside corner is a little bit trickier to grind. Now these little plug wells here, about the only way to clean these out is with a small sandblaster. Now there's that seam right there, and that's what you want it to look like. You don't need a whole lot of brass. The brass isn't giving you any strength up here anyway or way out there. It's going to creep in between the seam and it's going to fill that right there, and it's going to be plenty strong. I'm going to take my little recycling sandblaster, go over these, and we'll see how they look. Okay, here's what we want it to look like. Got a nice seam in here. These plug wells look pretty good, although that one could have used a little more brass in there, but they cleaned up pretty good. The sandblaster gets down in there, cleans everything up. This is what we want it to look like right here, and we're done. It's a nice small seam. Inside corner is a little tough, but you'll see a little bit of the it almost looks like slag, but it's from the flux on the brass rod. That needs to be taken out of there completely. Sometimes you got to chip on it and then sandblast it. Keep the brass to a minimum. Keep it off your areas where most of your Bondo is going to be, and leave it just nice and small like that. The sandblaster roughs up the brass pretty nice, so that helps the Bondo to stick in there too. You know, and this is a good solid repair on your old classic cars or whatever you're working on at home. Here's a close-up shot. So that's about all there is to it. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you already haven't. Thanks for watching.